Managing the Tail, the Aftermath. Hello, my name's Eva and welcome to Jo's Moans. I worked at BT between 1996 and 2008 at their research and development site in Suffolk. For the last few years at BT I worked in data networks supporting the UK's internet. Part of my remit for the last few years also was to roll out a training programme for everyone in our department. Most people had their roots in the voice network and not the data network, so the voice network is the traditional telephone service. Some of the people were reluctant to take the training offer up. At the time I referred to these people as dead wood. These were people who, according to me in my self-opinionated days, filled whole buildings and didn't seem to be doing anything. An initiative was called Managing the Tail, and this was introduced in 2007. The managers were all told to put the lowest performing member of their team onto a performance review, and some managers put members of their team onto performance reviews and kept them on the review until they were sacked for poor performance. A few months after Managing the Tail was introduced, redundancy packages were offered. The people who were not eligible to ask for redundancy packages were those on a performance review or anyone working on the data side of the network, so like us supporting the internet. I was successful in applying for the redundancy package. Have a look at my video, I Find You Aggressive, to explain how. And I left BT about a month after applying for redundancy. The rest of this video is speculation, but it's based on pretty solid information of practices that I knew were being carried out at the time, and here is what I think will have happened. Now, for this explanation, I'm going to put everyone in our department of data networks into groups. So group one. This group one would be the majority of people, so those from a traditional voice network who had transferred to data networks and had taken the training offered in the training programme. None of these people would have been eligible for the redundancy package because they were working on data networks. All of these people would have been considered targets for the Managing the Tail initiative. Right, group two. Group two would be a handful of people. Those from the traditional voice network who had been moved to data networks. Many people were moved to data networks and didn't have a choice. And if these people had refused the training offered in the training programme, they were likely to be put on a performance review for refusing the training. So under the Managing the Tail, they would have been seen as people who didn't want training, therefore didn't want to perform. So they would have been eligible for Managing the Tail. They would not have been eligible for redundancy packages. They were working in data networks. Group three. Group three would be people at the top of their game, so that's experts in data network, experts in the traditional old voice network, and also experts who straddled the two and worked on VoIP projects, that's voice over IP. Now, I managed some of these people in my cherry-picked team, and none of these people would have been eligible for the redundancy package. All of these people, believe it or not, would have been considered targets for the Managing the Tail initiative, even the experts. So have a look at my video, I Find You Aggressive, as proof. I had one chap working for me who was considered to be the BT's expert on VoIP, on voice over IP. He was part of my cherry-picked team. In my last few months at BT, my VoIP expert applied for a job as a consultant supporting VoIP on the live platform. It was a purely technical role. It would have been promotion for him. I looked at the job description for the post and it looked like it had been written for him. It had phrases like must have a proven record supporting VoIP, must be able to hit the ground running. This chap could meet all the requirements easily. There was, in my mind, no way he shouldn't have got the job. And he didn't get the job. It went to a manager from the traditional voice network, and my VoIP chap knew him, and this person who got the job, he wasn't a technical manager, he had no experience of data networks, he had no experience of VoIP. So the chap that got the job will have done so as a result of internal favours for mates, probably while managing the towers flying around. There was nothing I could do. If this had happened a year before, I would have taken the recruitment team to task, as they'd broken so many of the company guidelines, so many of BT's company guidelines. Towards the end of 2007, breaking company guidelines seemed to be the new mission statement. So that was everyone in Group 3. Group 4, there's probably a pun there. The only person I know for definite in Group 4 was me. That is, people who were aggressive and did not toe the line. There probably were others. People who were prepared to break the rules in order to meet their objective. My objective was of being paid money to leave BT rather than get the sack. So that is, I did not get put on a managing the TAL review, but I did manage to get the redundancy package. In my next video on this topic, I'll explain when things really did start to go down the pan for the world of data networks in the UK. That's when Donald Trump started to object to Huawei being on the 5G UK network. Thank you for watching.